Hello, everybody. It's me again. It's been a while, so I'm going to start a new series of videos. This one relates to the what's called auto layout. Okay, so I'm going to start with a presentation, and then after the presentation, we'll create a simple app with an auto layout, and then we will talk about we will start adding more advanced stuff to it. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. All right, so this is related to auto layout in iOS 8. And why do we need auto layout? Okay, so Apple strategy now is to create devices with different screen sizes. In the past, we had one iPhone, one iPad, and the sizes were fixed. Well, now we have iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, and then iPad 2, iPad Mini, and iPad Retina. And then, of course, we have iWatch and iPod. So what does that mean to you when you're developing an app? Well, it means that you need to take in considerations when designing the UI interface, the size of the screen, because the screen, as it gets bigger, you have more things that you can fit in. And if you have a smaller screen, then you will have smaller things that you can put in the screens, and then the font and the size and the images, all this will need to be changed. So here is a summary of what all these are. For example, we have iPhone 5, the screen size is 4-inch, iPhone 6, 4.5, 4.7-inch, and so forth. In addition to that, you have the resolution. So if you have higher resolution pictures, for example, would appear better on the screen. So depending on the device, again, resolution, you can design your screen differently. Now, for those ones that most of us familiar with, it's actually what it means. It means resolution by points. So this is what we use when you use the storyboard. So as you can see, with all of this, a problem arises. And the problem is how to create an app that can run on these different devices with minimal effort to development, meaning specifically the UI and programming. I want this app to run on these different devices, at the same time use the capability of these devices, and I don't want to do a lot of changes. In addition to this, we want to be able to do rotation too. So when I rotate the device, I don't want my UI elements to be all over the place. And for those of you that have tried this before, it was a nightmare, okay? And there are different solutions to this. We'll discuss these solutions, and then of course we will pick the right one. I'll tell you the pitfalls of all of these. Well, the first solution is that you can define different storyboards or NIP files for a specific device and size. Or you can change the layout of the screens programmatically based on the device and the screen size. And finally, you can use auto layout. Of course, you can already guess where we're going to, but let's take a look at each one and why is that not feasible. The first one, it can be done, and I've done it before. And the problem with this is that you will have to create several storyboards. And with internationalization, you can actually double that. So for example, if you want to write an app that supports Arabic, because Arabic is different, the layout is different, left to right instead of, or right to left instead of left to right. So now you're doubling that amount. So you'll be creating multiple storyboards. What does that mean to you? What it means to the developer, it means that I have to create all these different storyboards, all the view controllers, all the outlets, and all the connections. Now, you don't have to do anything with the view controller classes, the custom classes, because they should be all right. All you have to do the connections and all of that. But man, that would take a lot of time. Okay, so I don't recommend that. Okay. The other one that you can do is that you can do it programmatically. Now, if you hated the previous one, you're going to hate this one more. And the reason is that instead of doing it using the UI, you will have to write it. You have to do it with code. So in your view controllers, custom view controllers, you check your device, and based on that device, you have to lay out your screen programmatically in your code. What does that mean? Again, it means a lot of work. And then it means you have to be good in math, you have to check the frames of each control and then lay it properly. And if Apple come up with a new size, then you'll have to change your programs again, all of that stuff. So it's not feasible, okay? And this is what you used to do before the introduction of auto layout, okay? This and then the previous one. And people were, again, they actually restricted it to a particular device, or they restricted it to a particular orientation. And that is still maybe what you have to do for the orientation, okay, depending on your app. All right, so on the next solution, of course, Apple have realized this, and they came up with a new way to design the interface, the user interface of your app. And that is called auto layout, which is a set of classes that manages the screen layouts and rules that you specify using the built-in user interface builder in Xcode. Okay. Now, that is not very intuitive, and it's not something that you pick and then go right away, and especially for programmers their minds geared to writing codes, but it's not geared to designing great user interfaces. You'll be lucky if you find one that can do both. So when we started, it might not be as intuitive as you would think, but I'm going to try to simplify it as much as possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the new one. I'm going to stop this video, and then we'll start another one. Okay, so that should give you a brief introduction of what we're going to cover in this series of videos. All right.